Yay, I'm streaming. So it's Stream Elements. My Stream Elements is playing up. Finally. Evening, guys. Good evening. Not sure what the audio will be like. Yes, Nick, that worked. Indeed, that worked. I will need to pop out my chat. Rob, welcome, buddy. Welcome. It was Stream Elements, mate. So, don't know if signing back into Stream Elements would now allow it to work. Maybe it was just crashing. I don't know. Hello, Mr. S. Keith. Welcome, gents. Welcome. Right. So let's vastly move on because it's 7:20. I've been trying to stream all day and I've not had a quiet moment. Yo, Andy, welcome, mate. So, right, two seconds. I'm gonna have to restart OBS on that. Not sure what the audio will be like this evening. Changed some of the decibels, which is what Nick suggested. Right, so we've now got this on. This is going to be a pain in the neck because I'm going to have to keep jumping on and making sure. Can I set that to stay on top? No, probably can't. I need to sort my OBS out. Yo, Normski, welcome, mate, welcome. So, let me just go over, right, quick, throw Droid Cam OBS up on my phone, which should change automatically. Nice. So, I've picked up some of these to give a little bit more support. Before I had nothing in the hot air nozzle, and I only had two like grub screws, one in each of these. So I've now picked 4 up. We're no longer going to sit the board onto these, we're going to sit it in these grooves and we're going to try it that way. I've got some boards baking in the oven, which I've had baking since 11:30 this morning. Yo, Gibbo, welcome, mate. Can't see that other one from there. Lou, welcome, buddy. And Rose Electronics, welcome. So, what we're going to do is somebody, CFQ, sent me details for a Lewis Rossman's video, and it is used as a similar machine. It's possibly better than mine, but it uses the similar method of the 3 different heat types. So we're not going to use the same profile that Lewis used in his. What we are going to do, we're going to use a profile for a PS3. that I nabbed from YouTube. I'll just get my phone to change that way. As I say, I've got the boards. I've got 4 boards. I've fit 4 boards in my kitchen oven. My missus thought I was taking the piss when I said I was going to bake some boards. But no, I wasn't taking the mick. So, program selection. Let's change that to, and we'll just call this one PS3 for now, and we'll change a few of these. So we are going to set that up as 150. Seems quite a lot of heat for the first run. So I may use the one on Lewis Rossman's. His first starts at 50 for the top heat, second 50, then ramps from 50 to 205 degrees. His is going to be a different board. It possibly isn't going to be as thick. No, we'll go with that. We'll go with the PS3 one to begin with, just as a trial with the board soaked. Upper ramp rate is 3, time consistent is 100 seconds. Lower hot air temp is 150. Upper ramp rate is lower ramp rate, sorry, is 3, and that runs for 30 seconds. This one here is at 180, but I'm gonna run at 200. They are thick boards. Ramp rate on that we're gonna run at 3, and that's gonna be for 300 seconds. My screen's disappeared. Then we've got 180, ramp rate of 3 for 60, yeah. Then the same on that, ramp rate of 3, and that's only for 30. So with these machines, it appears that the hot air, the lower hot air, is what is going to kick out most of the heat to get these removed. Let's just clear all them off. So they're cleared. Then we've got 220 upper, ramp rate of 3, and that then runs for 80 seconds. That then has nothing on that. I may need to adjust how low the top heater sits to the board. That one there is 210. ramp rate of 3, and that runs for 30 seconds. That then is 2, 4, 5. Ramp rate of 3 and holds for 50 seconds. And then we have a 2, 6, 0. Ramp rate of 3, and that runs for 60 seconds. So we'll save that. So that should now be saved there under PS3. We'll apply it. I've lost my screen again, which is always nice. Apply and back. We are on PS3. Should show us there what we've just set in or set up. My apologies if the camera's not steady. Right, let's so let me now knock this off of Droid Cam. Kill Droid Cam, kill that. Why didn't you kill Droid Cam? Stop, yeah, stop, yeah, stop, yeah, stop, go, away. Right, so we have that set up. Gibbo, welcome mate. Can't remember if I said welcome before. Paul, evening buddy. Tab, hello. So we have that set up. Have I got? No, I've not. Let me turn that one on as well so you guys can see me. And every time I change something on OBS, I've got to now make sure that I re-hit the chat. So we are. So I've got boards baking in the oven. Sure, I mentioned that already. Go away. You'll slide back in there. You'll go back there. You can go back there. Crap everywhere. Oh, the joys of wanting to be a techie. So that's going to slide up there. The hot air then will rise to just underneath the board. How low is that going to sit? Not very low indeed, so quickly adjust that. Unscrew this threaded piece of crap. That is going to be nice and close to those capacitors. What's the chances of them going pop? We'll leave that at the height. I'll raise that up a little bit. Yo, David. Chris, welcome mate. Didn't get notification, strange. How long you been on for? I've not been on that long, David. I've not been on that long, mate. Stream Elements is still playing up, so I've had to log out of Stream Elements on my OBS to get a live going. So we've got this one set up there. What I'm going to do now is quickly remove this board. Throw that board on my extra table, which happens to be a bed. And I'm going to take my trusty little silicone finger protectors so I don't burn my fingers, and we'll go and grab a board. I shall be back in a second. Unfortunately, I'll need to mute you until I get back. So 2 ticks, nip downstairs, come back up with a board. We'll throw a board on there and we'll see what happens. And we are back. We are back. So the board, it's been baking in the oven since around 11:30 this morning. That needs to move up that way a little bit to about there. Then that should come across and just sit nicely. Make sure we are still resting roughly on bits and pieces. Yes, we are. Lovely. So it won't matter at this stage. We should be able to allow that to cool. And it shouldn't make much of a difference. So we now need to tuck this somewhere. Now, do I tuck it somewhere like there, or do I? Cooling down pretty quick actually, that. Tape. Grab some tape. Find the end, which will take the longest amount of time. I've got scissors all over. But we'll chop a little bit of that. And we'll stick that about there. So currently that's been baking, as I say, since about 11:30. That just underneath the APU is currently around 50 degrees Celsius. What else do I need? Nothing. That should be about it. Are them caps gonna go bang? They might do. They might go bang. Yo, Danny. Welcome, mate. Right, let's just run it and see. Let's just see what happens. Right, so you guys, do you guys want to see the screen? Can I? Do you guys want to see the screen, or do you want to see that you're looking at now? Unfortunately, I'm not set up to show both at the minute. Maybe I can quickly. Let's see. Let's OBS that. Let's find something to rest that on, just so you stay up. Yes, you're a blue screen. Just stay there, man. Let me grab that. If I remember, is it control? No, I'm wrong on you. Right, that's the one that we want. There we go. I can put that to about there. So you guys will see that. Look at all this crap. Look. Circuit boards. Look, crap for tip. Consoles. Just crap everywhere. So we can see the screen as well. I've no way of holding it. Pull my little suction pen out. Ready. And tweezers. Let's run. Let's run. Let's get ready for those caps going pop. If I drop my phone, it's all in order. Let me pull that light down slightly. Try and angle it so it's not killing you guys. We are ramping up on the graph. We've now moved on to 100 seconds on something, and I can't remember what it was. So at this stage I don't actually know. I don't actually know where we're gonna be at. I'm just hoping I don't get shot inside of the head. with one of those capacitors. So the lower is currently at 200 degrees, the upper is at 162, the lower infrared is only at 130. Are we staying flat? Kind of. I've not fluxed this yet. Should be no need for flux while I try and get this set up. And unfortunately I can't see chat yet. I'm a mile away from my PC. So the lower is currently at 245. The upper is at 193 and counting. Think the lower ramps to 260, does it? Can't even remember what I've set up, what I've set in. Board is still kind of flat. What we got coming after that? How many seconds? $80 seconds. So the lower is now at 260. The upper is at 215. We'll see if this will remove at when the upper it's 220. Upper's at 220. I've got my vacuum on. Upper's at 225. Lower's at 260. We've still got 40 seconds on the clock. So I'm going to bob my phone down there. And let's see if it's yet removable. No, not yet. And we are now cooling. We are now cooling. Let's just watch that board as it cools. So I think the what do I think? I think we're going to need to run it longer. So, catch up on chat while that one's doing that. Stop that. Yes, stop that. Knock that off. Catch up on chat. What have I missed? You've got your safety squints on, Chris. Yes, Tab. I have indeed. I have no choice but to wear them. So it's possible the Can you sling us a steak on? Yeah, mate. Why not? Just get it sizzling on one of these little hot plates. Welcome, Steve, by the way. Welcome, mate. So, we had the top. Now, when I say top, so let me go back over here. When I say top, board stayed lovely and flat this time, which is handy. Let me move that out of your way. When I say top, I am talking about this K-type sensor, the K-type thermocouple. This is what gives us our top heat temperature. So from this, that reached 225 degrees, just under the CPU, APU, whichever way we're gonna call it, and yet it still didn't want to lift. So that means that the solder joints wasn't quite at liquefied stage. Yo, Jaden, welcome, mate. So we could either A, increase the temperature slightly. I'm not sure if running it at 230 degrees would risk the APU any more than running 225 for an extra however many seconds. Or we could ramp up the lower hot air, so we could take that up to 280, or possibly 300. But for now we've got to allow it to cool. Stick cooling back on. Make sure we are staying nice and flat, which we are. So we stayed flat, which do we increase the temperature of the hot air? With it being a thicker board, we could do, I suppose. That's still cooling at the minute. Yeah, I think we'll go for a temperature increase on the hot air. Uh, 300 seconds seems to go nowhere quick, doesn't it? Are you having it repaired then, your capture card, Steve? How do you turn on subscriber mode only in chat, Chris? When you go on to settings, mate, let me show you. Let's head over to the desktop for 2 seconds. When you're on this section here, you would go to edit. I'm not sure if I could edit while we're streaming, but you'd on this edit section you've got 2 tabs on this, on the left hand side of the pop-up. You've got the stream settings, so the title, the category, the privacy of the stream, the language of the stream, so on and so forth, and then on the second option down on the left you've got the customization, which is where you can then set the chat to subscriber only, mate. I had to figure that one out. Luckily it only took me 5 minutes. Where was we at? We was at there. Yo, Roger. Alright, I see. Repair or replace. Hopefully it's a repair, mate. Hopefully it is a repair. So, while this is cooling down, we are currently at 33. If I stop cooling, that temperatures will start to rise again. Let's change. Right, so for me to change this now, I would need to add some timings to it. I don't know what I am doing, which is fine, I guess. So we are going to upper temperature. That was only set for 220. So let's throw that up to 225. We'll keep the ramp rate of 3 and we'll run that for a extra 40 seconds, which also means I need to change that. Lower infrared to 340, and let's add this one here to 280, ramp rate of 3 and a running time of 40 seconds extra. No, we'll go a little bit longer. We'll do 60 seconds on that. Let's change that one to 360. Is that gonna be? Yeah, it should be. We should get away with that. So we're gonna save that. Let's apply it. Let's back up out of there. Let's kick the cooling back in a little bit longer. Let's kick the cooling back in a little bit longer. Thanks, Paul. Thanks, mate. hopefully we get to a stage where I can pull the APU off and we can fetch it over to the bench. We can throw it under the scope if I turn that on, and I turn that on because I've not turned them on. That's how much I am slacking. Overhead, there we go. Put my crotch away. Oh, that looks horrible. Deactivate it and reactivate it. That still looks horrible to me. Oh well, never mind. Throw chat back on. Yo, Watermelons, welcome mate. Make sure my scope cam is active. Oh! I bet you guys are seeing that and it looks horrible. It looks horrible. Let me check my HDMI connection. Yeah, that is fine. What the heck is going on there? Power that back on. No. So, that screws that then, doesn't it? Because I don't know what's happening with that. Disco, yeah mate. Yeah, no, I don't really understand why. I do not understand why. Could be my system. Could be the PC. You know, it could be certain settings. It could be anything. Fernando, welcome mate, welcome. So let's fire this back off. If those will go with the same thing. If those caps explode, they explode. Stop the cooling. Let me lower that down. Make sure that it's not blinding you guys with a very bright light. Let's fire OBS Droid cam back up on my phone again. And let's go for round number 2. So this time the lower hot air is going to 280 and the top infrared will be going to 225 and the lower infrared panels will just stick at 200. I think I had them set to. Pop on those caps. Oh, it's magic. You know, have I got... no, so I'll have to just temporarily use my... sorry about the camera movement. Temporarily use my... IC jig to cool the chip down if we manage to remove it. What we on? We're on 200 on the lower. Board is still kind of nice and flat. Those are the current temperatures we are at. And I'm still expecting one of those caps to go pop at some point. This is the same board that that I ran on the last one as well, by the way. Lower hot air is currently at 245, upper, which is the reading under the IC. We're getting a reading under the APU at that point, but it is just on the edge of the APU. Can't really tell by eye if we are starting to see any of the solder joints liquefying. We are currently on 260. Lower infrared is now sat at a comfortable 200 and the upper is sat at 220. Again, I can't see chat. Did see somebody just pop up then. Jess, welcome. I'm getting ready for one of those caps going pop, 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 pop. Where we at? Upper, we're at 280. So let's drop that down. Let's hit some vacuum on the pen. Let's have a look, see if we are ready to... no, not just yet. Still not yet. Still not yet. And in 3 seconds, 1 second. Oh, we've still got 40 seconds to go. Now we're baking some boards. Let's see. No, still not ready to go. And we're at around 240 at minute on that upper. 280, 10 seconds on the countdown, and then the cooling's going to kick in. And that's still not shifting. That still ain't shifting. Cooling's kicked in. Go, damn it. And that still ain't shifting. Vacuum off. Yeah, boom, 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 Fernando. That still ain't shifting. Stop that, yes, stop, stop, stop. I don't have any aluminium tape, unfortunately. That's something I forgot to pick up or go out and buy. I was kind of hoping that I wouldn't initially have to add flux to begin with. It may need it though. It's aliens. Yeah, possibly. Aliens in my bedroom. Is it really, Steve? I hope not, considering that this is relatively new. I think I've only done one stream since putting it in. It may be because I haven't had my computer turned off for the last 3 days. So it may have been worth giving it a quick reboot before streaming, but I just simply dived on. Try a different cable. I don't think it's the cable, mate. It used to do the same on the Elgato capture card I had. Every so often it'd do it, and I used to Firkin in that what's it majig, deactivate on OBS and then reactivate, and it used to clear it up. Are you running OBS? I am indeed running OBS, yes mate. Yeah, I might have to add a bit of flux. The issue I had previously with running the flux, which was why I initially wanted to attempt without any flux to begin with, was the board would either sink around the APU, or it would lift just on the right hand side of the APU, which then just caused the flux to run wherever it wanted to run. Didn't actually run underneath the APU. But yes, looks like I may need to use a little flux. But I would have thought, even at them temperatures, I would have thought the solder would have liquefied without flux. We could try a bit of flux. I could melt some and run some down using a bit of hot air, run some so it runs under the APU. Sounds like not enough support. Well, at that stage it didn't have enough support. I have got now. So let me show you what I had. Those cross sections underneath. Dare I turn that on? Yeah, I'm maybe going to be flat anyway, so so on the cross sections of the BGA supports, I just had 2 of these, 1 in each, which is what the BGA came with, and they didn't really help, as it was only supporting essentially one side of each on the middle of the board. So then what would happen, or what was happening, is the left hand side, if the board was sinking, the left hand side of the board was lifting to compensate for them holding the centre up. So I live close to a Doubtful bolts, which are a company in the UK. They specialise in, or used to specifically specialise in bolts. So I went through and I got some of these. Initially I went to buy these, but I then stood and questioned them about heat, and if the bolts would take, or the screws, whichever way you want to call them, if they would take heat without causing much damage, and they was unsure, so they didn't actually want to sell me them. Luckily for me, and if they do indeed work and they do the job, then I would have to thank Doubtful bolts, as they gave me 10 for free. So they didn't actually charge me for them. So I've removed the 2 grub screws that initially was in those cross sections, and I've replaced by putting 4 of these ones on, and using one of those in the centre. Yeah. So that's currently where we are on that. And the question for the heat was because it's not really clear on what kind of steel that you can heat up. It's highly advised that you don't heat galvanized plate, not galvanized, zinc plating. So it's highly advised not to heat up zinc plating. So I didn't really fancy just trying it. So them ones are what they call self colour, and that's the ones that we are trying. So let's remove this board. Temperatures are now back down. Sorry about the light, I'll knock it off for the minute. Let's remove the K-type sensor. Let's just tag that onto there. And let's remove the board. Board isn't overly hot, not cool enough. And let's flow some flux down into place. So not gonna need that amount of wind. this was a trick I'd seen Richard do from Learn Electronics Repair. So I'm going to pinch it. Let me just lower my air down a little bit more. And all this does is it just helps the flux to flow under the APU around the solder joints. Let me, because I forgot to put my chat back on. Yo, Andrew. I'm not going to be fixing this one, watermelons. This is just to see if I can get it to a point where it's removing the APU, mate. So I'm not going to be putting this back on. You still need to take that paste off, it will absorb the heat. I can try and get it off, mate. So that should, in theory, be fluxed up. Let me grab an old pair of them caps are hot. Egypt. I wouldn't have thought that would have that much would have absorbed a lot of the heat, but then again, I am not used to trying to remove these. And of course I don't have a ultrasonic cleaner that I can just throw the board in. So, because we've added flux and we are removing these, shall we run at the same temps as we just did, or do we risk lowering it back down? There's actually quite a lot of thermal paste at that end. Same settings. Same settings, says Gibbo. Toothbrush it, yeah. Toothbrush, paintbrush. I didn't want to put any IPA on. I do have plenty of teeth brushes or toothbrushes, whichever. This is the way we brush our chip, brush our chip, brush our chip. This is the way we brush our chip. At 8:30 in the evening. Yes. Good enough. A little bit just there. That doesn't want to come off. Daniel, welcome, welcome, Daniel. Now I've got that tune stuck in my head. Right, so enough flux. Enough flux. Enough flux. So let's head back over. We've got some flux underneath the chip. That goes on that way. That sits roughly around there, moves up a little bit further, that slides and tucks just under there. We are roughly still pull that back just a smidge. And that'll do. That'll do. Stick that back. Just tuck it under there. Drop that back down. to about there. I think it was about there. Can't remember. Things may have moved a little bit. Try and get that so it ain't gonna blind you guys. For some reason my chat's knocked itself off from over the top again. If you are on, yeah, not for me. Yes, Daniel, this is a practice run for the BGA station, mate. Better than Baby Shark, Chris. Yeah, you've just stuck that in my head. Thank you, David. But I am not gonna sit here or stand here humming it or even singing it. No, not a chance. Phone is in my pocket. We're on 8:30. Let's go again. Just check what's battery wise on that is 48%, so we've got enough on that one. Droid cam. Let's go again. So we're running the same settings, the same temperature settings. If this works, I can rename it and do away with the name PS3 and change it to Shitebox or whatever. But we shall go again. Again, at this stage, I can't see chat. Well, I can, but barely. My glasses are good, but they ain't that good. We're still expecting one of them caps to go pop. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. I'd have thought they'd have gone pop by now. So we are currently running at almost 200 on the lower. There's the graph spike. Flux is cooking. We pointless showing you that one. But the flux is cooking. Where we at? We're at 245 on the lower, 193 on bottom IR, and 210 almost on upper. Flux is bubbling. Let's hope the flux doesn't make me sing. Where we at? We are at 260 on the lower, 228 on the upper. So again, the upper E is where the temperature is between the board and the APU. Can't remember if this is its last run. If so, I better stick some vacuum on and quickly see if we'll lift. Well, we do lift, so I can now stop that. So we do lift. Better put that back there. Told the board to cool, or told the machine to cool by stopping it. And I've just rested the APU just there on that. So, Techno Jim, welcome mate. So, thank you very much for the suggestion of that flux and removing that last bit of thermal paste. We will take this and see how we do. From looking at it, I'm not going to touch it with my fingers because I know that's daft. Yo Brian, welcome mate from Manitoba in Canada. I'm an old subber coming over from the Coda. Yes, thanks mate, thanks. The Coda ain't half bad. He's a good lad. Certainly good at what he does, I might add. So, is that going to play ball? No, that ain't going to play ball at all. That ain't going to play ball. And I can't just restart my capture card now, of course, because it's PCI Express. It is way deep inside my PC. Yeah, thanks, Melons. I did say thanks for both, mate. What it was, when I was attempting before, I didn't. I used thermal paste when I first got the machine back in World War Two, which is almost how it feels. Chuffing dog hairs get everywhere. I did originally use flux, but what was happening was, imagine this fancy iFixit label that you can't see because I've not changed camera over like an idiot. Apologies on the slight glitching. So imagine that's the board. That is almost exactly what it was doing. It would either run that way with the APU on this side of the board, or it would go the opposite way and it would sync. And it just did that. I couldn't get it to do anything other than doing that. That doesn't seem that far off, and I can't show you under the scope because my scope's not playing nicely. By the looks, we don't have any. We've not pulled any pads. By the looks of it, we have also not. Let me put my nicotine fingers away. We have also not popcorned the chicken. The chicken. Yeah, KFC style. We've not popcorned the chip. Popcorn chicken. KFC, it's 9:15. I've not had no food either. Good job, Chris. Take a pic of those setting profile. I don't need to take a picture, mate. It's stored. Speaking of KFC, that was my dinner. Nice, mate. So yeah, until I can reboot my PC and hopefully get the turn the vacuum pump off now, idiot. Get the scope cam working a little bit better. We can always take a look at that in under the scope on the next run, or but from the eye it doesn't look bad. There's no immediate like bubble sections on it, so it doesn't appear to be popcorned. I mean, just in case you override them. Well, I don't think I will override them, mate. However, that was we hit that. So let me switch this camera back over. 30 Dettol wipes, anybody? There's not 30 in there. Let me put my chat back on. That chicken done yet? No, not yet, mate. Steak's not done either. Although, I mean, I have to be honest, if I'd have had a steak on there, it would be well overcooked at them temperatures for that long, I think. So let me just quickly stretch this back out. So we got, come on, select it, man. Stop messing about. So we've got full image of that. So I can't really overwrite it as such. If I now select, no, we're going to go back and discuss this quickly. So at this point, this point is where I had shut it off. We can see there the upper quickly died. So that was 295 seconds into the overall profile, and that hit a temperature of 240. Again, 295 seconds ish. That might have been when I lifted it up actually to remove the chip. So tap on that, idiot. So I can change that now, and let's just say I call it XB1S. Okay, I can hit save, and that's saved. That's now saved. So if I load the selection up, we've actually now got two. We've got PS3 and we've got Xbox XB1S, and they're both the same profile. So I don't think that we'll overwrite it. I can delete that one. Yeah, selection, so that one's gone. I can delete that one. So that one's gone. I can delete cock up. So that's gone. That one's gone. But them two there are both the same profile. So as long as I make sure that I've got that PS3 loaded on for any adjustments on, such as a PS4 board, maybe that won't need to be run at such an high temperature. We're not sure yet. That will quite possibly be for another stream. What temperature are we set on there now? Let's remove that. Let's stop that, and let's run the knock that light off, and let's take a look at this. Again though, I can't really show you under the scope of love, under the scope of love. Can't show you underneath that. Ow, 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 ow. My knee. Zoom in. And let's hold that up there. So apart from the glitching, that looks fine. Zoom backs out. That looks reasonably straight enough. Doesn't look like it's shifted. It may have raised ever so slightly. But as I say, this board has been baking. I've still got 3 boards in the oven. I managed to fit 4 boards in the bottom oven of our range cooker. Which could come in handy. Because it means I can still bake boards while the Sunday dinner's being cooked. Switch to that. So yeah, that we're just going to call a quick one. It is 10 to 9. I've not eaten yet. So that profile is now saved in there. The other thing that could have stopped it from shifting, from the board shifting, could have been the fact that I've had it baking since 11:30 this morning. Look under there. Look under where, mate? Thanks, Steve. Thanks, mate. We any luck? What I might do is on the next stream. So, oh no, that one's down. That one's still in oven. You had Steve B. The board that you had similar to mine, my last one, mate. The power on, power off around 5-ish seconds after. That turned out to be a short on the APU on yours. Is there a way of testing that specific area that was showing tested, mate? Or would I need to remove one of the RAM modules? Yo, Nigel. Yo, mate. I all watching while playing bingo. Can't hear you. Is that because you're waiting for your numbers being called out, mate? Wish I were playing bingo. Good luck at bingo, by the way. Was it because the... No, never mind. Never mind. Strike that. Let's leave it at that. Let's call it a night for tonight. And on the next one. Yes, if you will do, mate, yeah. Thank you very much. On the next one, what we may do is we may remove one. Here's what I temporarily did. Let me just blow all the dog hairs off. So here comes the glitching again. Just temporarily. What I did is I took one of these and I taped some of the areas off, some of the non so essentially what that does is that creates me a that creates me a little stencil, which should work, but when I say should, don't hold me to that. Because I don't really have anything to hold that stencil in. Yeah. So what we might do on the next one, let's wrap it up. What we might do on the next one is we may remove the APU from the power on power off board that I had. We may remove it, reball it one way or another. If I have to do it by hand, I may do it by hand, but we will reball it one way or another, and then we might have a go at reflowing it back in place, and at the same time we may remove a EMMC off whichever board we pull an APU off. So I may use this one, we may see. Obviously we know how many times this has been through the heat. Yeah, night tab. Nigel can't hear me. Is it because he's listening to bingo, or is there something wrong with my audio? We may test this. So I may think I'll keep this APU with this board, and then we'll also remove the EMMC. We may see if we've cooked this. We may put this back on a different board, on the power on power off board, and we may see if we've caused any damage to that whatsoever. But yeah, until next time guys, I'll also try and sort my OBS out, and get so I've not got to mess about with chat all the time. Every time I change something on OBS it knocks my chat off. So yeah, until next time, look after yourself guys. If you haven't already and you enjoyed the stream, please feel free to sub. Doesn't cost a penny, and be sure to hit the thumbs up, or if you disliked it, yeah, stick a thumbs down. It is what it is. I don't mind either way. But till next time guys, we shall see you later.